Hey there, Andrew, C1D Paintball. This game is played at WARZONE Paintball in Rigo, and it is on the market map. Just previous to the match you're about to see was a game where we really took care of the enemy surgically. Surgical is what I wrote as far as the write-up, the title of that video. Now, important to say, a lot of you know who've seen some of our videos that it's always about having fun first, and I don't really have a lot of videos that I put together, the guys, where we destroy people. I know some guys are good at that, and that's the core of their thing, like watch this wicked win and watch me wipe the other team. Okay, that's cool. That's not what we're all about. But just so happens that's what happened in the previous game. It's 5-on-5, 5 experienced players on both sides. Myself, Connor, Thomas, and Charlie, as well as the soldier who's been in so many videos. He was kind of walked in with his buddies, but experienced soldier because he's a real soldier, Canadian Forces. So the game before, we attacked from the south side. The south side from the base tends to have a slight advantage when you're playing a game here. Doesn't mean North can't win. As a matter of fact, North has a very good chance. It's just slightly in the favor of South. The main thing is you get out in the North right away and you establish a foothold ahead of your bunker, because the enemy can close in on that and give you few options, put it that way. If you're on the south bunker and you happen to stay in that bunker for a little bit, it's pretty easy to get out to cover ahead of you. Not the same option north. Basically what happens in this game, we're talking, our soldier guy with us, he removes his mask briefly, to which Thomas says clearly, put your mask back on, because he's joking about what his paint tastes like, you know, because I got a shot in the face earlier on, and he goes and he pretends to lick the paint off me. We're not really paying attention what's going on here, because all of a sudden the game starts right after, and we're on our heels. Look, when you play 10 games in a day like this day, sometimes you just, you know, you're not quite as ready. Anyway, let's watch the video.
This side sucks. Left side's kind of suicidal.
All right, Connor mentions that there's a guy already in front of us. He's not even talking about this guy, which I'm going to circle. So, yeah, that lack of attention, the lack of being ready, it cost us. How much? The rest of the video will have to show.
Okay, that's not a good idea.
Let's hear Connor again, in case you didn't hear it during the video.
I didn't even know we were starting.
Yeah, son, I didn't know it was starting as well. Now, see, there's 2 windows in the front of the bunker that we can go in here. So you can peer out there, but they can see in there, and because not a lot of places to hide, you gotta be very careful, because enemy can easily return fire there and make life just a little difficult for you. So we've dug the hole ourselves, and now we got to take those shovels and dig ourselves out. And when it gets desperate, I love that expression, you know, we find ourselves in a hole, let's get some shovels and get out. It's like we don't, in this situation, we don't have shovels, we're gonna have to claw our way out with our bare hands.
No, they're peppering me.
So my marker, because things aren't going so well, Murphy's Law, well, my marker decides it's like happy hour. I'm shooting 2 for 1, so 2 balls come out with 1 trigger pull. And 2 balls again, so I'm going to change the magazine, and after the, obviously change the magazine right away. After this game, before the next one, I'm going to swab out my my marker, kind of blow out the internals there, just on field, little minimal maintenance on it, and see what happens. Didn't have the problem the rest of the day, but go figure, things are going so great. Now my marker's like just doing what it wants. 2 balls at a time at very crappy velocity. Now I'm going to focus on this guy here, and I'm going to have a lot of low arcing shots right at him. I'm zeroed in here now. Obviously my magazine, this new magazine, is working well, so I'm putting some decent fire here. That guy's not backing down. As you can see, splash just to my right on the building as it just ricocheting the whole thing off there. Now, just because things are going so poorly for us, you'll notice now that my action camera will start up again, or has started up again, because, it decided, if you guys aren't ready for the game when it starts, I guess I'm not ready too. So POV on this developing disaster. You're going to have the POV cam now.
One sharp. They're going to flank us.
I want to focus in on that return fire from the enemy. Yeah, I fired some low shots in there that were pretty good. And I could sit here patting myself on the back and put it up on the screen in slow motion, show you, look at those great shots. But really, what I'm bringing up here is I'm focused laying in shots. He's laying in shots. He's under fire. I'm barely missing him. He's barely missing me. This is a good, solid, your heart is racing, good game of teams that just do not want to give up.
The other side, I'm okay.
There's one right in the middle of the square. Get turned back.
Connor makes some call-outs. Connor mentioned it before. 2 of his big skills he brings to any team he plays on is his speed, and he's got a knack of looking on the field and really picking out things quicker than the average bear, so to speak. So he can help develop tactics for his team. Like I said, he'll turn around the corner, get a couple seconds. He'll see guys. He'll see things unfolding. Always good to have. So he spotted a couple more guys. I mentioned we got to watch out to get flanked. Obviously, we're going to get flanked because the other team, experienced players, we've actually lost our other 3 players. Soldier, Charlie, and Thomas have been knocked out. So it's me and Connor here. The other team's going to flank. I mean, they have to. It's not as if we're going to run out there. Like I said, they're experienced players. It's going to happen. Now, those 2 windows in front of me, again, I can use them, but they can be used against me. Staying back a little bit, and but I'm ready to go left because Connor's got the right side because that flank's coming in. So I don't have a lot of good options, but I'm trying to figure out what my options are. And in this case, I'm ready to react to wherever the fire, wherever the advance is coming from. So another volley on the left side with the same guy I was shooting at before where we weren't backing down. Connor makes a call out that there's another guy even behind him, so I got twice the amount of work that I really want to have on this side, but hey, bring it on, right?
That's what I'm doing, actually.
Better angle of what I mentioned when I'm using the windows and I go back a bit. So I'm back a bit further from the windows. I'm harder to spot from the other side, from outside the building, enemy's view. But I can still see the windows, and you can see here, good example, my peripheral vision, so I can kind of check out the left side. At this point in my head, it's like, mentioned before, let's wait for the enemy to come in, because really our saving grace, our grasping at straws here is that the enemy makes a mistake and we can capitalize and maybe turn things around. Connor calls that he's out. Here's a fact. Andrew being alone on a team, Andrew being the last player alive on a team, means that team is going to lose. That's one of these like equations. So here's something. Remember it. The equation. It's going to be on the test. Andrew alone on a team equals that team Andrew's on is going to lose. Andrew alone on a team, team's going to lose. Pretty straightforward. Not going to panic. My heart sinks a little bit here because now I got to cover the right side as well. I got to cover everything, right? I'm alone. At this point, honestly, I'm just sitting there thinking, you know, how many of them can I take out before the inevitable happens? Now, Connor, as he gets off the field, he's got his arm up, calling out, going out. He's pretty polite to the guys, saying, don't shoot me, I am out, because he still takes a few shots after he's called himself out with his arm up. Hey, you guys know what it's like when this happens, paintball. Sometimes that happens to you, and sometimes you're a little bit more polite with the guy shooting at you than other times. I think you know what I mean here. I think he handled it well. Things are going so well for me. I had a shot lined up through the window and click, magazine's not working. I had shots left, but it wasn't working, so I fumbled with a couple of mags here, giving the enemy time to creep in before I get myself hopefully ready to go again. Sure enough, I spot an enemy moving up on the left side. I try to lay some shots in to prevent him, but he gets into place. He is literally in the first barrier ahead, the one I should have ran to at the start of the game. So he's one hop away from getting to me in the bunker. From experience, I know, that guy moved up on the left. A lot of times when a team is clearly at an advantage, you're attacking and you see one of your teammates move up on the one side, another guy moves up on the other side. So I finally take my first look on the right side from peering around the right corner. At this point, I don't see anybody but a guy way back here. Now, he's not really going to shoot me there. He's going to have to long ball and get lucky. I can jump out of the way. But he can see me visually, so he can call out what's going on. So that is one dangerous player. Now, that last guy I pointed out on the right side was too far away, but this guy is in prime take out Andrew with an easy shot territory. I will fire one shot before retreating back. You'll hear all kinds of shots as he hits the bunker. Bunker saves me at this point, so Andrew stays alive at least for a few more seconds. All right, I see the guy that I had a couple of exchanges with on the left side, the not backing down guy. He's making a run for it. You know what? It's time to settle this, at least between me and him.
Hit! Up! Over! We traded out. Yeah. Dude! Yeah. That's okay. My balls are big, but they're on the other side.
So, actually traded out with that guy, but the orange team wins by taking me out. Now here's going to put the script down. Here's what happens after. That guy I hit that took me out at the same time, he's going to sit down because he took a couple of shots, I think, off the ribs or something. He's sore, and he's like, man, you know, that really hurts. I point out to him that when he took me out, he actually got me on the inside of the thigh, just a couple inches away from my boys down there. So I mentioned that, telling him, you know, essentially that he got lucky because, you know, I think I'm the one that took the tougher hits to take, so to speak. So that's this one. It was a fun one. I like how we dominated the game before. We weren't overly cocky. I did call the video surgical in that. I knew what happened in the other game after when I edited that, so I called it surgical. And the other team came back just to show we're not cocky. Here's the video, I showed it. The other team came back and jumped on a mistake we made early and just put their foot on the pedal, did not let go, and took us out. Good game. Not a game where a lot of newbies and all that, where I, you know, try to say play, not necessarily play to the level, but be a good sport. Actually, you know what? Everybody was a good sport. This was a game where everybody just went, hey, let's go, do the best we can. At the end of it, walk away. I make a joke with the guy because he said, I got him in a tender spot. Well, he almost got me in the most tender spot. Fun game. Go out there, have fun, make the best of it. If you have a couple of tough breaks the way my team had in this game, just roll with it, man, because at the end of the day, it's just a game.
Game over.